DI introduction or training session. We'll do introductions in just a minute. I wanted to kind of start off by showing everyone a video that I really liked. I believe it is a DI team member talking about her hopes and dreams and aspirations, um, and imagining the possibilities with DI. So I just want to show that first, and then we will get into the rest of the training. So I'm going to go into slideshow mode. So you guys can see my screen. All good? All right. Let me know if you have any technical difficulties, but here we go.
What makes school so great? Well, it's where we learn how to fill in the blanks, check the right box, color in the lines, stuff like that. Or as my mom and dad say, the basic fundamentals of learning. But in the real world, lines aren't so defined. Rules aren't so rigid. Outside the bricks and mortar confines of school, success isn't measured by how you act, but rather by how you react to obstacles, to challenges, to opportunities. In the real world, infinite possibilities await those with an understanding of the creative process. It starts with imagination, but it's through perseverance, teamwork, and collaboration that we can go from ideas to innovation. That's when the unsolvable becomes solved. Impossible? Not here. Unimaginable? What does that even mean? Because here, in the real world, an untethered imagination gives wings to all those basic fundamentals of learning. This can only happen if you have the capacity to think ahead, to enact scenarios in your mind, and to overcome obstacles. Then, and only then, will you be ready for jobs that have not even been invented yet. Yes, I know that lines will change, that the world is unpredictable, and life will be a challenge. I know this, but I also know I will be ready. Because my imagination and I, well, we've been practicing. Not only imagining possibilities and inventing creative solutions, but also learning how to face challenges as a team, how to communicate and listen in order to circumvent dead ends and disagreements. And mastering the creative process as part of a team to achieve solutions that are beyond anything I could dream of alone. I've been preparing for the undefined future ahead of me. I've been doing all of this with my team in Destination Imagination. So I say to you, Mr. Unsolvable, Mr. Insurmountable, and Mr. Unimaginable, bring it on.
All right. So as I said, the reason I really like this is, it talks about what is possible through DI. And the reason we are here today, we have put these training series together for you, is to help you as team managers and as parents, help your kids, your teams, have these same hopes and dreams and, imagine the possibilities of what you can do with DI. So with that, let's do introductions. I'm Shirish Vaidya. I'm the regional director for the Western region. I'm also the affiliate training director for Washington DI. I'd like to introduce a few other folks who are Washington DI board members and longtime DI volunteers. Alyssa, just say hi.
Hi, everyone. My name's Alyssa St. Hilaire. I'm the current Washington Destination Imagination Board President. And during the day, I work for the Kennewick School District as an Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, and I'm in Eastern Washington. So thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, okay, we got another I saw a few names here. I know someone from my district as well. I'm going to let Kathy introduce herself next.
Hi, I'm Kathy Adams. I'm the co-affiliate director with Bruce Richards. I also live here on the east side of the state, and Bruce is on the west side. So together we make a good team. I've been involved since 1986, so a lot of years. I've held a lot of different roles in the program, and I really believe in what it does for the kids. So I'm happy that you're all here tonight. Thank you.
Wonderful. Laurie?
Hi, I'm Lori Chin, former team manager for about 9 years. And since my kids aged out of the program, my husband is the affiliate, the ACM for the Technical Challenge. And we bring back my entire family at tournament. You will see them all there. My two boys that actually participated as DIT members, myself and my husband, we always volunteer at the tournaments. I'm stepping into the role of the Western or the Eastern side regional director, and I'm slowly learning that role.
Welcome, welcome. And I see David Baxter is on as well. David, do you want to quickly say hi?
Hi, my name is David Baxter. I am a program director for the Mercer Island School District and in obviously Western Washington. And yeah, I've done this now for about 10 years, not nearly as long as these fine people, but certainly enjoy it and am thrilled to be here with you tonight.
Wonderful. Okay.
We have Vachala on too. Vachala, do you want to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Vachala. This is my 8th year in DI. It's an exciting journey. While the kids are having fun, it's fun for the team managers as well. So currently I'm a team manager and I'm looking forward to an exciting season.
Wonderful. Is anyone else, Alyssa, longtime DI volunteers that I've missed?
Well, I'm not sure. I think we can go, but anyone who wants to unmute and say hello, just go for it. Otherwise, we'll keep going.
Yep. And feel free to stop me, ask questions as we go through it. This season, we have, as I said, prepared a series of training modules, which I feel will help you in your role as team managers and demystify the whole stress and, like, oh, I don't know what to do as team managers. We have all been there. I was a team manager for 16 years for both my kids. So we will go through the training, but feel free to stop and ask me questions. So I define destination imagination as, we turn chaos into creativity, or rather the kids, the team members, they turn chaos into creativity. And we're going to talk about two things. What is DI? And we're going to do an overview of the challenge. So let's move ahead. So here's the training plan, just to give you a sense of what's coming. We have 8 modules. They are roughly monthly, except I think in September we are doing 2 and in October we are doing 2, just to kind of fit everything in. So you can see the different topics that we are going to cover, and each module has training videos and reading material. All of this is on our website, and I'm going to take you to the website. I would very highly encourage team managers and parents to go through these training videos and read the materials as we go along. So as I said, it's on the website, and we'll go through it. So the first module today is what is DI and the challenge overview. So the supporting material for today's training, I send this out in an email. If any of you are not receiving my emails, please let me know, because sometimes I use my Washington DI email address and it could go to the spam folder. So do let me know if you're not receiving this. But before every training, I will send out the training videos and the reading materials that you can look at. And we'll go through the steps of how to do that in a little bit. Okay, so today we are going to use the content in the rules of the road. And I will show you what that is, how to access it, and what to read. So let's start off with what is destination imagination, right? DI. There's many different ways to answer this question, and people will give you like the formal definition. They will tell you about the challenges. They'll tell you what they learned. I actually asked ChatGPT to give me a humorous definition of DI, and this is what it told me. So essentially, DI has 7 challenges. The challenge experience, which is what we're going to talk about, has 7 challenges that are open-ended, and they are STEM-based challenges. And the goal really is for the kids to solve this in a creative way. We are going to talk about what those challenges are. So for the kids, think of it as school, but there's not as much homework, and there's a lot of duct tape. There's duct tape, glitter, glue, labels, Chanel sticks, and all of the good stuff that you see around. Just wanted to give you a sense of the DI community, the community that you join. It is a very big community. Our program reaches 1 million participants. 1 million, not just participants, but parents, supporters, volunteers, team managers, 1 million globally. We are in 42 states. Maybe that number has changed a little bit since I got it, but we are in pretty much all of the states in this country, and 25 countries across the world. We reach about 150,000 students annually. These are students all the way from pre-K to university. We go through pre-K, elementary, middle, secondary, and university levels for the challenges. 7 challenges that we'll talk about a little bit. And the really important part I want to point out is the 38,000 volunteers who come together every year to make this program possible for the kids. And the thing I want to stress is we are all truly volunteers. We don't get paid. Most of us have full-time jobs outside of DI. Some of us have very demanding, stressful jobs, but we do find a way to make DI possible and give our time back to DI. And it is entirely a volunteer-run organization. And this is why we come to you and we ask for help to run the tournaments, right? We look for team designated volunteers. We look for appraisers. We look for people to help us. This is the reason we do it. We are all volunteers giving our time to Destination Imagination. So I'm going to kind of jump a little bit into the formal training that we want to get across today. And I'm going to start off with the creative process. So the creative process is essentially the steps that your team, the kids on the team, are going to go through as they solve a DI challenge. And it is very important for you as team managers and as parents to understand the creative process so you can guide the team in the right way. Your role is as a guide and as a mentor. It is not as a problem solver. And we're going to talk about that in future training sessions. So what are the stages of a creative process? And by the way, this happens in a single season. And sometimes it all gets crunched together in the months of January and February. And maybe, the midnight before the tournament. Okay, so the first 4, recognize, imagine, collaborate, and assess, happens before the tournament. Then you walk on stage, you show your magic, and then you celebrate, right? So recognize is essentially reading the challenge, picking a challenge, reading a challenge, and it's essentially the kids asking, wait, we are doing what now? What is it we have to solve? Right? So that's the recognizing. What is the problem that you are being asked to solve through a DI solution? It's the fun part. It is where the kids are, it's kind of like the storming phase. For those of us in the workforce, we know what that means, right? Like you put 5 kids together and everyone wants to do a different challenge and come up with a different name. And, so that's the whole recognize. What are we doing now? The imagine phase is where they start getting ideas. And very often there are way too many ideas. Always happens, right? And part of the DI process is to help your team make decisions and pick the ideas that are going to solve the challenge, at the same time make sure that everyone's ideas are being heard, right? That is extremely important, to make sure that everyone has a role and everyone's ideas are heard. But you do need to come up with a decision, the team does, on how to solve the challenge, right? So that's ideas. Collaborate is time to build. Okay, we have decided kind of what we're going to do. So let's build. And then all the questions come up. How are we going to build it, right? So the team is like, well, who's got a duct tape? Who's got a plywood? Who's going to cut? Who's going to build? Who's going to draw? Who's going to make the props? It's a collaborate stage. And the assess is asking, are we there yet? Okay, have we actually solved the problem? Right? Do we need more glue? And sometimes it's like, hey, maybe we need some magic, right? We don't know how to solve this. Keep in mind, US team managers and adults, parents, you are not problem solvers. You can't tell them how to solve it. They have to figure it out. And I have heard many a team member during my days say, maybe we need magic. Okay, it's like, it's good. You actually want them to think that, right? There's a little game I used to play when I did in-person team manager training many years ago. Is, I would show them a pencil, and I would ask them, "What is this?" And the first person would say, "Well, it's a pencil." And I'd say, "Well, what is it? What else is it?" And then somebody would say, "Hey, it's a wand. It's a magic wand." And then somebody would say, hey, what does the magic wand do? It opens a portal to nowhere, right? And that's the whole point of DI, is to get them to figure out creative ways to solve the solution, to solve the problem. So the first 4 stages, they happen, it's almost like, at work we say it's a feedback loop, right? It goes round and round and round in circles. Okay, you're not going to get one stage right, move on to the next one, and not go back to the previous one. And the important thing, as you will see as we do this training, is to get the kids started, to try something, to build something. And later on in the training sessions, we are going to talk about project management. It's very important. Solving a DI challenge is literally a project management task out in the real world. And we're going to have a training module that actually focuses on how to get your kids to do project management. And these are the 4 stages. You are recognizing, imagining, collaborating, and assessing. Something doesn't work, you go back. Hey, maybe we didn't understand the rules, right? Your role is to help them understand the rules. And then they will interpret those rules to solve the challenge. So kind of go in a circle. And the celebrate, most important, is after you're done with the tournament, win or lose, whether you're advanced or not, go for ice cream. We had a tradition in our team, and we followed it to the letter. My assistant team manager made sure. She made a reservation at Red Robin in Issaquah. Doesn't exist anymore, but she made a reservation, Red Robin in Issaquah. After every regionals, we went there for dinner, win or lose. And the first 6 years as a team, we did not advance past regionals. So the point is, celebration is very important, right? So go celebrate when they're done. All right, so.
I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
I am listening.
Okay, we have a team member on the call. All right, skills you learn. And I just put a few bubbles over here. Okay, I'm sure you can add a lot more, especially the team members who have been around for a long time. What is it you learn? And these are kind of quotes that you will hear kids say. We didn't give up even when the tower collapsed. Persistence. It's very important. You have to persist, even if things don't work. I've had my teams go up on stage and the PVC pipe structure collapsed. And they did their entire show with each kid holding up the structure with their hands. But they did it. They finished the solution. They were in third grade, I think, at that time, or fourth grade. And of course, you know, things were not connected properly, but that's what you'd expect from a fourth grade team. Persistence. We argued about glitter for 2 hours. Now we are best friends, right? Teamwork. Go argue. The more you argue at the end of it, you know, you're going to be best friends. Sometimes duct tape just isn't the answer. Recognize that there are options, right? Recognize there are options and collaborate to find the right answer, right? Sometimes it's not just duct tape. Yes, I built a catapult using popsicle sticks. How cool is it to say that? I mean, come on, even as adults, we kind of lose that imagination and creativity and the thrill of doing that, right? My younger son, the second team that I was team manager for, when he was in third grade, he wanted to build a tower. And I asked him, how are you going to build a tower? He said he's going to take a lot of newspaper, crumple it, and stack it on top of each other. And he did that. And that was great, right? As they evolve, they kind of start, you know, building more complex solutions. But imagine walking into an interview, even in the real world, and telling the person, hey, I built a catapult using popsicle sticks. They want to hear that, right? Employees in the real world, they want to hear all these kind of ideas that kids come up with. It's not always the traditional way of building a catapult. And then, yes, we created a solution no one asked for, creativity, right? There's a saying in DI, let me see if I can say this correctly. If it says you cannot, then you can. Did I say that right, Kathy? If you say you cannot, if you say you can't do it, then you can, right?
If it doesn't say you can't, then you can.
There you go. There you go, right? So come up with the most creative solution. And the scoring is based on creativity also, right? So skills you learn. All right. Let's kind of get into the details. What really is the DI challenge, right? So there are 2 challenges. There's the team challenge and the instant challenge, the dynamic duo. Okay, so every team solves a team challenge and an instant challenge. Team challenge is one of those 7 STEM-based challenges that we are going to talk about. They are published, and I will show you at the end of the meeting where to go access those challenges. They are published. There are certain rules that are given. You know everything about the rules and what you're expected to do. You know the scoring, right? Those challenges are out right now. So if you register your team, you will see that. It's months of hard work, and you should start early. Because you remember that creative process that you go through, that's for the team challenge. So you have September, October, November, December, January, February. March is when the regional tournaments are this year. So it's months of hard work or procrastination. Okay, and procrastination is real. Trust me, procrastination is real. And you'll realize just from our experience, the older the kids get, the more they procrastinate. You know, like I've had my senior level teams not pick up. We did improv a lot, so it was a little easier, but they did not pick up the improv challenge book until 3 weeks before the regional tournament, right? Wouldn't advise that for any of you, but it's months of hard work, the team challenge. And the instant challenge is you walk into a room and that's the first time you hear about the challenge and you have 5 minutes to solve it. Okay, so when I say you, I mean your team. So you solve a problem with a box of paper clips and your imagination, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. You get scored on both these, and that's what you do as a DI team, right? Team challenge and instant challenge. All right, the team challenge, which I call your epic journey, has 2 components to it. There's the central challenge, and I list the 7 central challenges: technical, engineering, scientific, fine arts, improv, service learning, and early learning. Early learning is for our rising stars, pre-K to 2nd grade, okay? That's the central challenge. And part of the central challenge, there's something called a team choice element. And we are going to go into the details of this in the next training session. And I will point you to where you can read about this if you want to kind of prep in advance. It's important to understand that the team choice element is something very unique because it gives your team and members of the team an opportunity to showcase unique talents that are not in the requirements of the central challenge. Okay, but you still have to integrate your team choice element into the central challenge. So, for example, you're solving a central challenge. Somebody likes dancing and they like building, and they add a tap dancing robot. That's a team choice element. And they identify that as a team choice element, and then they get scored on it separately. Okay. Why do you do it? Because you can, right? It is a chance for your team, or maybe even just one or two individual team members, to showcase additional strengths, right? So those are the two parts of the team challenge. And there's, of course, a scoring rubric that we will go through. Right, so this is your epic journey, months of hard work or procrastination. I have seen teams fixing their props or even building props on the day of the tournament. So it does happen. And you should be prepared for it. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go along in the season. How do you handle stress as adults when you see all the full chaos within the team members? It's actually a lot of fun. So we talked about the central challenge. I'm going to play a short video from DI, which gives you a preview of what these challenges are. So you get a sense of what do we actually mean when we say we're going to ask you to solve a central challenge. Okay, so let me play this and let's watch.
Are you ready for an epic adventure like no other? Destination Imagination is where imagination takes flight. We have 7 mind-blowing STEAM challenges waiting for you. In this season's technical challenge, Breaking Point, teams will design and build equipment that can be used to assemble and destroy stacks of items. They'll also craft and present a story about a character who lacks something important and attempts to gain it. Will they achieve their goal or reach their breaking point? This season's engineering challenge, Highwire Act, isn't clowning around. Teams will design and build a transporter that can carry weights along a tournament-provided cord. They'll also create and present a story in the style of contemporary circus and amaze the crowd with a daring display. Embark on a cosmic adventure. In this season's scientific challenge, Worlds Beyond, teams will tell a story about a character who discovers they're not alone on another planet. They'll also impress audiences with creative technobabble and a scientific demonstration to ensure their presentations are out of this world. How can the simplest of things convey the most? In this season's Fine Arts Challenge, Less is More, teams will tell a story about something small that can have a big impact. They'll use color and shape to design a minimalist set with a powerful visual punch and move audiences with an emotional moment. Think big with a small design. Time to hit the road. In this season's improvisational challenge, Are We There Yet? Teams will use their improvisational skills to craft a skit about a character on a quest, facing detours and unexpected surprises along the way. At a tournament, teams will be given 2 locations, a mode of transport, a character, and a detour to incorporate into their skit. Left or right, apple or orange, smile or frown, the world is full of choices. In this season's Service Learning Challenge, This or That, teams will design a project to help a community and tell a story about a character facing a tough decision. Will their choice lead to success or a surprising twist? In addition, teams will explore different technical fields and design and build a device that does 2 things at once. Rain, snow, wind, sun, and hail. There are so many different kinds of weather and lots of wonderful activities that can only be done during the perfect kind of weather. Children, preschool to 2nd grade, will explore the wonders of weather and craft a playful story about a character who is learning about one kind of weather for the very first time. They'll also design a creative weather costume and a special weather effect. Ready to choose your adventure? Start your team today and get creative with us. Learn more at www.destinationimagination.org.
Okay, so any questions so far on what we mean by the central challenge? Okay, let's keep going. The instant challenge is kind of a unique DI thing. It's all about thinking on your feet, because as if the team members don't have enough pressure already. This can actually be a lot of fun. In fact, the people that I see most stressed out during the instant challenge are the team managers who are daring enough to go into the room with them. But yeah, the adults are more stressed out than the kids. The kids always have fun. But really, what is the instant challenge? You walk into a room and you could be read out, like tell a story about so and so and so, right? And there are some things that you have to put into your story. You read that story out, and then you have a few minutes to think, and then a few minutes to act it out. The whole thing is about 5 to 8 minutes. There are then some challenges where you walk in and on a table, you see like glitter, Chanel sticks, marbles, labels, and you're asked to build, say, a tower as tall as possible that is freestanding. In some cases, you have to build a bridge that can hold the weight of the marbles that are given to you. And then you get scored based on how tall your bridge is or how many marbles it can hold, or if it's a storytelling, how creative your story is. It is serious improvisation. Your team has no idea what it is until you walk in. And sometimes, I've had a few team members who are kind of, not always like focused, right? They walk in, and by the time they realize it, it's over, right? And they say, wait, we are done? What? It's over already, right? So it's a different kind of skill set. It's really thinking on your feet. Okay, and every team will do an instant challenge. Okay, so that's what the instant challenge is about. The scoring breakdown. This is the scoring breakdown. Central challenge is 60% of your score, team choice elements 15%, and instant challenge 25%. And there are detailed scoring rubrics on the central challenge and the team choice elements, which is available to you in the challenge material. The instant challenge, you are only given like a score at the end, okay? Because it is secret, it's instant, like, the scoring is not broken up for you. My suggestion just over the years of, working with teams is pay attention to every one of these scoring elements. As you go through the DI journey, as your team moves, from elementary to middle to high school, you will find that between the top teams that move from regional to state to globals, it could be a difference of 2 or 3 or 4 points. It can really get that close, right? So for those of you who are starting off, you don't have to kind of think too much about it. But from the early parts of your DI journey, do get your team into the habit of working through all of these things. And we are going to talk in subsequent sessions about how to plan your meetings, right? DI has got a great template on what do you do in the first meeting, second meeting, third meeting. Where should you be by the end of September? Where should you be by the end of October, and so on, right? So my call out to parents and team managers who are hesitant about, hey, how am I going to do this? We have it all written down. There's a template, and we are here to help you. So as long as you realize that your role is that of a mentor and not a problem solver, and we are providing you with a lot of the templates to go make this happen, it should hopefully reduce a lot of your stress. And hopefully, we'll have more parents who will step up and, take on the team manager role. We are here with you, right? And we have all the materials, and we have all the experience, as you can see on this call. And there are many more you will meet over the course of this season who will talk to you and help you out. So parents, do invest in the future of your kids. There's nothing more fulfilling, and I'll tell you from my personal experience, there's nothing more fulfilling than being the team manager for your child. It might seem kind of stressful because your kids will listen to everybody except you, But when you are invested in their DI journey, I think they'll have a more fulfilling DI experience, right? So do take my word for it and talk to others, and they will tell you the same thing. Okay, how do you participate, right? This is great. How do you get started? So we are going to go to the Washington DI website. Let me bring it up here. Our communications director, Cynthia Feeney, has put this together, and I think she's done an amazing job. Can you guys see this? Is this big enough on the screen? Okay, wonderful. So www.wa-di.org, bookmark this. There's a lot of great information over here. We have the Eastern region and the Western region. The starter team is really the place where you start, nuts and bolts. How do you get started, right? It's all laid out over here for you. It has links to where you need to go. You have to go and purchase a DI number from DI HQ, and then you pay the fee, and that fee covers the program. It also covers the tournaments that we hold here. It covers the cost of us running the program here in Washington State, gives you the documents. You have to do the background checks from DI Resources, and then you also go to DI Resources to download the challenge material and the training. So let's go over there and let's walk through what you do. So DI Resources, it's resources.destinationimagination.org. You will be given, you will have to go there and create an account. And Kathy, please keep me honest here on the exact logistics, but you will have an account for DI Resources, and you have to log in with your credentials. And I have already done that. So let me bring that up and show you what the site looks like. I think I have to stop the, oops, sorry, end show. Okay. So let me show you what the DI Resources looks like. So here you go. This is what it'll look like when you log in with your DI account. Team managers, this is for you. All team managers will have a DI account, and you can log in. Parents will not, but team managers will. And when you come in here, you want to go to Documents, go to View Documents. It's thinking. There you go. And here, let me click this. So you'll go to Challenge Materials. Okay, now since I am the regional director, I see a few more folders here, but the one that's really important for you is this one, Challenge Materials. Go over there, and then there's Program Materials. Go click on Program Materials, and there's Team Challenges, Rules of the Road, and Roadmap. The three most important sets of documents that you should really get familiar with. The Team Challenges is where you will find all of the 7 challenge rules, right? So my suggestion would be, when you get your, buy your DI number, finish your background check, and you log in, go ahead and download these. And that's what you're going to use to discuss with your team members. Hey, what challenge do you guys want to do, right? It's all in here. The Rules of the Road the Rules of the Road and Roadmap are 2 very important documents. And a lot of the training material is pulled from there with page numbers and so on, right? So I would highly recommend you to go download the roadmap and download the Rules of the Road. The Rules of the Road, as you can tell, is all of the general rules of DI. A lot of your questions will be answered there. And if You don't find an answer, you can always email us. Okay. So I'm not going to go through these documents right now. You will see that they're structured in a very nice way. I would highly encourage you to go read this. Okay. Any questions on how to find this? Why is this important? All good? Okay. I can, maybe if there's time at the end, I can show you the rules of the road and the roadmap that I've downloaded, just to give you a sense of everything that's in there. But do go ahead and bookmark these and download this. The other thing that you want to do when you go to resources.destination.imagination.org is access the online training. Now, this is something that we are really going to emphasize this season, that team managers and parents go through certain online training modules. And the reason we're going to do that is it's going to help you with DI and how it works and what to do and so on, right? So only team managers can access this link. So you are going to have to work with your parents, maybe like in group sessions, to go talk about this a little bit. But we are running a little short of time, so I'm not going to go through the modules here. If you click on this, you will essentially have to log in again, and you're going to go to a page like this. And this is where you're going to find a lot of the training modules that we are actually using in this training as well. Okay. So do go take a look at that. All right, I'm going to move on to the basic rules. Oops, we missed that. Okay, so I picked these rules from the rules of the road, just kind of to highlight a few things you should know as you start your DI journey. These are not all the rules, but these are kind of the most important ones. 2 to 7 team members form a team, minimum of 2, maximum of 7. And your team participates at a level based on the grade and age of the oldest kid on your team, right? So like if you have siblings and you have a younger sibling with an older sibling, they will take part at the level of the older sibling, right? So it's always that way. You pick one team challenge. As I said, out of the 7, you pick one team challenge. If you are a Rising Star team, you always pick the early learning challenge. That's always fixed for you. Makes it easy for the little ones. And it's to get them involved in DI. But other elementary, middle, and high school teams, they pick one out of the other 6 challenges. Every team must have a team manager, an adult 18 plus, absolute requirement. And I know a lot of kids who are not able to take part in DI because they don't have a team manager. So parents, my call out to you, please volunteer as a team manager. We are there with you the whole way. Okay, but a team cannot exist without an adult team manager who is the guide or the mentor. Only team members can solve the challenge. And we'll talk a lot about this. We're going to have a specific training session on interference. That is a word that you're going to hear me say a lot this season. And it is core to the principles of DI, and it is in some ways what differentiates DI from some of the other activities that your kids might be involved in. Okay, it is a core tenet of how DI works. It's only the team members who solve the challenge. And if you as an adult give them ideas or help them solve things or build things, it is interference, and you will be docked points at the tournaments. And I've known teams who have been docked points because of which they have not advanced. You know, the worst thing about that is, how do you explain that to your team members? They put in all the effort and they cannot advance, or they do not place because the adults interfered in the solution. Okay, so please do not put us in that situation. And most importantly, please do not put your team members into that situation. And a few other things, probably the one I should call out, team must provide a volunteer for tournaments. Remember, I talked about the volunteers. We are a volunteer-run organization. You know, you say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes, what is it, Kathy, about 100 volunteers, 120 volunteers to run a regional tournament. Okay,
Yeah,
so
usually we have between 120 and 140. So it
There you
depends on how many teams we have at the tournament, but it's a lot. So we need everybody to provide a volunteer for their team.
absolutely. And it is required, just like you must have a team manager, you must provide a volunteer. Think of all of the appraisers. We have about 5 to 6 appraisers per challenge, right, per level, and all of the other volunteers. We cannot put this together without volunteers. We do not pay anybody. We do not go get paid people to come run tournaments, right? So very important. And there's a few other things that, I'll skip over in the interest of time. Competition levels. So how is this structured? Here are your 7 challenges, right? Technical, scientific, fine arts, improv, engineering, service learning, and then the rising stars. As you can see, for the first 6, there's an elementary, middle, and secondary level. So your team gets placed based on the challenge you pick. Let's say you pick fine arts and you're an elementary team, you get put in the fine arts elementary category. And you will compete against all other teams who are solving fine arts and are in the elementary category, right? So you are competing against teams in the same challenge and at the same level. And all of you will do the central challenge and you will also do the instant challenge, right? So you can imagine the number of different mini competitions that are going on and the different rooms and the appraisers we need, right? So elementary, middle, and secondary. And then for the rising stars, there is 1 challenge, and that's preschool to second. So for the elementary, middle, and secondary, it is a competitive tournament, which means that the top place teams, you first take part in the regional tournament. There's a Eastern regional and a Western regional. You compete in the region, kind of like your home region. And then the top teams from the regional tournament advance to the affiliate tournament or the state tournament. And then the top teams from the affiliate tournament advance to global finals, which is where you meet teams from across the country and across the world. And many of the experienced volunteers, we did this before the pandemic. We as a program are recovering from the pandemic. And we have this vision of what DI used to be before the pandemic, right? So we are trying to get there, and we need your help. We need your help to spread the word about DI amongst your friends, your community, your school, and help us grow the program back. The rising stars, they take part in the regionals, and it's not competitive. They don't get scored. They get a lot of praises and a lot of cheers, and that's the whole point of the rising stars. So those are the levels. So next steps, start a team. Don't think too much. We are here to help. Start a team. I showed you where to go for the website. Download the challenge materials, roadmap, rules of the road. And then if you're not done so already, go through the training videos for this module. And I would also encourage you to go through the training videos and reading material for module 2. And I'll send you an email on that, just to kind of get you prepped up to what we're going to talk about. And you can also come here and ask us questions. Important dates, and you'll see this slide very often. 16th of December is the registration deadline. By that date, your team needs to have registered for the regional tournament, Eastern and Western, right? So both, it's the same deadline for Eastern and Western. So mark that on your calendar. You don't need to have a solution. You just need to have registered, which means you should have picked a challenge and should have picked your team members. But you can keep working on your solution till the minute you walk on stage, but don't try that. On the Western side, we are going to have an instant challenge workshop and an appraiser training late Jan, early February. And it'll be in Mercer in one of the schools in Mercer Island. The Western Regional Tournament will be at Islander Middle School in Mercer Island. And we have David Baxter here to thank for that, for making it possible for us to have an in-person tournament in the Seattle metro area for the first time in 5 years. So I think it's going to be great for our area and for our region. Our first preference is 1st of March. That's what we have put a preference in. If not the 1st of March, it will be on the 8th of March. And we will know in a few days. But just to give you guys a sense, Islander Middle School, Mercer Island, most probably the 1st of March. And then the Eastern Regional is in Richland High School on the 8th of March, right? So the 2 weekends in March are going to be very busy. So do prep for that. The affiliate tournament, our state tournament, is the 22nd of March in Kennewick in Eastern Washington, and then global finals in May in Kansas City, right? So these are kind of the important dates to keep in mind. I have 2 announcements. The first announcement is specific for the Western region, or more so for people in the Seattle metro area. We are going to have an in-person DI awareness event run by our wonderful youth committee. It's in the Redmond Library, 6 p.m. And we need your help to spread the word. Please tell your friends, your colleagues, your communities to come for this event. It's going to be a great way to learn about DI and raise the awareness. We also have applications open for the DI Youth Committee, and this is for grades 8 to 12. So if you are a team manager or you know team managers who have not received this email from the Youth Committee, please reach out to me. The Youth Committee is a group of very experienced DI youth, and many of them are actual team members who have been doing DI for many, many years. And we created this Youth Committee last season to give them a chance to give back to the program, right? You saw the video about the girl with the hopes and aspirations, right? If you stay with us over the season, I will actually introduce you to members of the Youth Committee, and they will tell you that that is actually their story, right? And you'll hear them speak and it will resonate with you. So we are opening applications for youth grades 8 to 12 to join the Youth Committee. And this is across Eastern and Western Washington, right? A lot of the things the meetings are all virtual. So please do send an email and let us know. And finally, here are your Washington DI contacts. You met Alyssa. Bruce is not, I don't think Bruce is on the call. You met Kathy, Laurie, and myself. So this was a whirlwind first training. My goal was to give you guys, especially those of you who are new to DI, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people also watching this recording, what DI is about. So let me stop here and see if there are any questions. And if anyone, David, Laurie, Kathy, Alyssa, Wachala, if you guys want to add things, please go ahead.
Yeah, David, we can stay on. I'm probably going to stop the recording right now as well. I noticed some of the names have been team managers before. It's great to have you back. So just give a thumbs up if you've all already gotten a team number and have been able to get into the resources. Okay. Yep. Okay, good. Oh, yay. Good. Yeah. Okay, see some thumbs up. Great. Okay, so we'll just if you want to unmute and ask a question, go for it. Otherwise, this kind of concludes content. If you want to go ahead and leave the meeting, that's fine. Thank you.
Well, thank all of you for hosting tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good to see you.